Hello seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Let's understand something unique about a horoscope which we usually don't look into, which is called Chandra Kundli or the moon horoscope. Why this horoscope is important, we will discuss briefly in this video, but before that do not forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get all notifications. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter for quick astro bites. And if you want to take my consultations, you can drop me an email. The email ID is in the description box below. So let's continue with this analysis of Chandra Kundli. Chandra Kundli or moon horoscope is usually formed by keeping moon on the ascendant and rotating your entire horoscope keeping moon on the ascendant. Say for example, your moon is in the sign of Virgo, but your moon is in 8th house, so you will take 8th house as ascendant, rotate entire chart. You won't change any planetary positions, you will just rotate the chart, and in any software if you can right click on the Rashi number or the house where moon is placed, it will give you rotate the chart at this house or rotate chart from this house. Take and choose that option and you will see a rotated chart. Few softwares do give moon chart as a separate kundli, so you can refer that. Now what is so unique about this chart? See, moon is mind. Mind is perception. This is how you see the reality. This is how you feel the reality. There are 5 senses. How does these senses explain the presence of the world around you? Senses brings data. Brain processes that data, and once the processing is done, the collective data is now analyzed by moon, and this is also analyzed by the consciousness, and you feel the construct of the surrounding. It's actually a reality created in your own mind, because there are a lot of frequencies that we cannot see, there are a lot of sounds that we cannot hear, there are a lot of spectrum, visible spectrum is very limited, and there's the huge wide spectrum which we can't see. Say for example Wi-Fi, you can't see the waves of Wi-Fi. Both light and Wi-Fi falls in the same, it is a microwave, but they are in the different spectrum. Visible spectrum is the spectrum that we can see. So basically in reality, the world that we see, the world that we know, is nothing but a construct in our own mind. And we feel it, we observe it, we perceive it. And all this is under the control of moon, which is the mind control, the manah sharir, the manas, the man, you can call it by any name. So if I talk about ascendant, I'm talking about the true reality, what will happen with you. But if I talk about moon, I'm talking about what will happen to your mind. Say you won a trophy, that is from the ascendant. But are you happy with that rank that you have scored? That happiness is defined actually by moon, how you perceive something. So when you keep moon on the ascendant and you rotate your entire chart, now you are reading the planetary placement with respect to moon. That is very important. So moon chart is a chart that defines your perception of reality, and that also defines your existence, and sometimes moon chart is given greater importance than the Lagna chart, especially when the matter is of emotion, when a person is slightly disturbed mentally, when he is frustrated from his life. Moon chart plays a very vital role. From the moon chart, you have to observe how many planets are against the moon, how many planets are malefic to moon, how many planets sit 6, 8 or 12 with respect to moon. If there are malefics, 8th from moon, if sun goes 8th from moon, then this becomes slightly difficult for the moon to observe and perceive. And usually it is seen that that human being who has this particular horoscope will face a lot of problems, will perceive a lot of problems, and even slightest of pinch will hurt him the most. So when you are giving a remedy, when you're trying to understand a horoscope, try to understand the moon chart very carefully. As an astrologer, we usually take a look at the moon chart inside our mind. We don't have to look a separate chart. We simply quickly observe. While observing the chart, we take moon in the first house mentally, and a lot of calculations are done internally. But for the sake of simplicity, you have to observe the moon in the first house. Then where is the Lord of Moon placed? Say moon is in the sign of Aries, then where is Mars placed? The Lord of Rashi, where moon is placed, is of the greatest importance. Because if mind has to drive itself, if mind has to gear up, if mind has to draw power, from where it will draw power? It will draw power from where it will sit. That defines the nature of the mind. That defines the nature of personality. Also, the nakshatra is very important. So, first thing, where is the Lord of the sign placed? Is it good with respect to moon? If yes, brilliant. Then you have to see 6, 8, 12. How many planets are there? What is the connection? Is moon getting the 8th aspect of Mars? Is moon getting the 3rd aspect of Saturn? Is moon under Sadesati? Is moon under Ashtam Dhaya? All these things are to be seen with respect to moon's chart. Also, moon is mind, and moon defines the quality of life that you will live in this world. So, correction of the moon chart is very important. You can chant the mantra, the Bij mantra of the planet where moon is placed, the Lord of that house. So, if moon is in the house of Mercury, you can chant the Buddha Bij mantra. In general, you can, irrespective whether moon is good or bad, it will only help you. If moon is in the house of Leo, you can chant the Surya Gayatri mantra or Surya Bij mantra. It will help you a lot. Now, what happens if moon chart is positive? See, if moon chart is positive, even despite all the problems that you're facing, despite all the difficulties, mind is controlled, mind is happy, and you are like content. But if moon chart becomes bad, what happens is, no matter what you see, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what position you hold, you will always feel unhappy. You will always create disturbance in your life. So somewhere mind is responsible for a lot of our karmas, because we take decisions based on emotions. So what is mostly seen is that if moon chart becomes disturbed, usually even the yogas of the ascendant chart, yogas of the main chart, do not fructify. Let us take an example. Say for marriage, because that's an emotional bonding. In the ascendant chart, it is seen that there is a yoga of marriage. The person should have been married or should marry in this particular time frame, say a time frame of 6 months. But in spite of everything, we have Saturn and Rahu sitting 7th from moon. When moon sees Saturn and Rahu 7th from itself, both are malefics, moon will see a demon standing in front. So that person will never want to get married, because from moon, keeping it as an ascendant, Saturn and Rahu goes 7th. So nature of the person is against marriage. He does not want to get married. He does not want to go into that domain. So in spite of the ascendant yogas, whatever you may call, that person will have either no married life or will have a difficult married life, not because something bad is happening with him, but because he is perceiving things in that way. Usually it's a tip for all astrologers, budding astrologers I mean. If you're observing a client's horoscope, first observe his position of moon, because that is going to tell you whether he is ready to listen things that you are going to say or not. What will be the impact of your words on his mental state? Because you just cannot go and blindly say anything. Your words matters the most. So when you are going to heal, astrology sessions are like healing process. Somebody is coming with a problem, wants to get a solution. But on top of that, as an astrologer, you are also a guide. So you should heal the other people. Healing people through words is one of the fundamental role of an astrologer. So you should also observe the position of moon of the native, the negative effects on that moon, whether moon can handle. Sometimes even with the negative aspects, the moon can handle. The person can digest the fact, because the moon chart, say for example, with respect to moon is in Cancer. Maybe there is Saturn, Rahu, 7th from the moon, Mars' 8th aspect falls on the moon, but there is an exalted sun in the 10th house with respect to moon. So with respect to moon, sun is very strong. That person can take the hit. So whether you can take the hit or not take the hit is actually defined by the moon chart, because it's all in the mind. Because after all, the reality that we see, if we go deeper, the whatever reality that we see here is nothing but the construct of the mind. So a lot of times, moon chart is given more importance than the Lagna chart. Sometimes the nakshatra of moon becomes the deciding factor, mostly because we are emotional beings and sometimes we try to insert emotion into everything. So, especially in case of people who have careers where you cannot insert emotions, your moon chart has to be very strong. You can observe this kind of case in surgeons, in lawyers, in judges, people who are holding position of great power. They have to control their mind. Their mind control should be extreme. And if your moon chart is giving good sign, good power to you, meditation will work for you. But if your moon chart is really in a messed up situation, this is to anybody who is listening. If you know that your moon chart is not in a good position, and with respect to moon, the planets are not in a favorable position, meditation without a guru will prove dangerous for you. Because the moment you calm down, you are actually not calming down. You are giving your mind a full playground. If you are busy, there is senses. Senses are involved, mind is busy processing it. There is a lot of data to process. If you calm down, there is no data to process. Moon will start observing every single negative aspect. So if your moon chart is bad, you will need some sort of help. Few people might need psychiatric help. Few people might need counseling. Few people just need their friends to talk, somebody to share. Few people will need astrologers. But you will need someone to listen to you. You have to vent that out, you have to throw that out, you have to throw the negativity. And especially if your lot of planets are 8th from the moon, especially if it is Jupiter, if it is Sun, and if it is Venus. If out of these 3 planets, any one or more than one is 8th from the moon, you might not even feel the need of that, and you will continuously eat it. The negativity level will increase. So what you have to do, you have to carefully observe, and you have to understand through astrology, through data, that okay, fine, there are planets 8th from the moon, so what can I do? You can take the help, take the guidance of an astrologer, because 8th means blind spot. Your mind can't see. Any planet which is 8th from moon is invisible to your mind. So if the problems are coming from that particular planet, from that particular house, you won't be able to even see. That will hit you hard. So that is why it is to be of great importance. Great care has to be taken for the house which is 8th from moon. Also, 2nd from moon is very important. So 2nd house of the moon chart is of crucial importance, because that will tell you where are the thoughts coming from, what is the source of the thought, where is your thought feeding. So if you are an overthinker, if you are thinking too much, try to take control of the 2nd house from the moon. If there is a planet, try to pray to that planet. Say if 2nd house from moon is Ketu, pray to Ganesha. If 2nd house from moon is Rahu, pray to Shiva. If 2nd house from moon is Shani, you can pray to Shani. Because 2nd house is the Taurus zodiac in the Kalpurush, and moon gets exalted there. Why? Because moon wants to rest there. Moon needs resources. Mind will need resource to work. So it's like software. Software will need libraries. Software will need fonts. Software will need whole sorts of array of elements, without which your exception will come, errors will come, warnings will come. The application will not behave perfectly. It may crash. That is the same thing with moon, because ultimately moon is nothing but mind. So how to control this? By taking greater control of your horoscope, by understanding your horoscope, by accepting, yes, there is a problem, what can I do about it? Don't cry about the problem. What can you do about it? There has to be some spiritual solution to a spiritual problem, because in reality, there is no problem in spirituality. Everything is event, and the event has a reason. If you understand the reason, you will be able to work on the reason. That is exactly what you have to do if your moon chart is in a bad shape. But if your moon chart is in a good shape, you should help others, because that means you have a greater control on the mind, you have a greater control on the life. That means God has blessed you that. That means you should help people who are in mental trouble, who are in depression, and that is what you have to do. So guys, that was a quick analysis, quick take on the moon chart. This chart is very, very important. Do not forget to read this chart in sync with your Lagna chart. Most of the people forget about moon chart. They simply go to the Lagna Navamsha. They give too much importance to Navamsha. I am not saying Navamsha is not important, but if everything is of that importance and your mind don't support you, you will lie on the bed seeing the wall, seeing the the fan. No matter how much motivation is given to you, you won't be able to take it up, because your mind is like a sponge. If it is filled with dirty water, how will you take? You have to squeeze, take out the dirty water, be empty first, and then you will start absorbing the positivity. So pray to Bhagavan Mahavishnu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Be at the feet of Mahavishnu and he will support you. He will take you out of the clutches of, I will say, the rabbit hole of the negative mind. Thank you guys for watching Punneits Astrology. A lot more videos coming soon. Do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. If you want to watch my shorts, there are all the links of all the channels and social media is given in the description box below. Thank you for watching. This is your host Puneet. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, namaste.